All right. Is this thing on? I finally figured it out, man. This QuickTime and GarageBand situation is kind of confusing. But yo, this is my first time. This is the first official YouTube video that we're doing for UrbanBlockchain. My name's Dre, and I'm just here to teach y'all about blockchain, here to put the urban community onto blockchain. I love hip hop. I'm from an urban area, and I feel like we're deprived of this information. So I felt like being that I love this info so much, it was my duty to bring it forth. Because, each one teach one. As they say in Islam, once you learn something, you got to, teach your brothers. And, I'm not Islamic or anything, but I like to follow, things like that. But without further ado, let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is the first official video. So smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe. I'm getting used to this YouTube thing. This is my first time around the merry-go-round, as they would say. So, just help me out. And the more you smash the likes, the more you share, the more this will get out there. There's a lot of crypto hype beasts out there right now, so we want to weed those crypto hype beasts out and make sure that we're getting the right info. So myself, I've been in the crypto game since, 2016. And, I've been studying since... the reason why I love blockchain is because the potential. I like to say that I live in the future because I'm always looking forward to what's coming next, like IoT, which is the Internet of Things. Like I knew that was coming a couple of years in advance, and that's just all from reading. Not to say that I got this crystal ball or I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm just reading these articles on Seeking Alpha, Yahoo Finance, things like that. Once I find an interest in something I use, like Apple device or something like that, I just start searching and digging through who makes the chips, like that. And, just throughout my studies or my research, I stumbled upon blockchain. In addition to that, I went to school for economics. So when I discovered Bitcoin, I automatically knew it was sound money because the money that we have today is not backed by anything. You know what I mean? It's fiat currency. So, once I heard about that, I automatically knew, like, what, this is the ticket to our freedom. And when I say our, I mean us as a people. Robert Kiyosaki always says that, there's God money, which is gold, silver. So God's money is gold and silver and precious metals. Then we have the government's money, which would be fiat. The yuan, US dollars, things like that. And then we have the people's money. Now, when he first said that, I didn't know what the people's money was. After I discovered blockchain, I kept going back to what he was saying. And I'm like, yo, he was talking about Bitcoin and this peer-to-peer network. And lo and behold, in 2019, late 2019, 2020, Robert Kiyosaki started talking about it on his Rich Dad podcast that, he's been invested in Bitcoin. He believes it's sound money and whatnot. So, yeah, I kind of got a view into the future, a little foreshadow. Myself, I was always into like the Jetsons and like Star Wars and, the Matrix, Ready Player One, the Tron movie, all those type of things. So, this stuff interests me. And if you look at the world today, we're moving in that direction. And Corona only pushed us forward. This pandemic has definitely pushed us forward. And, like Metcalfe's law says, over time, technology would advance quicker and the cost for it to advance is just going to go down, So again, without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to talk about blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. So previous video I put up on the page. You could go ahead and watch that. But that was like a partnership I did with a fellow friend of mine. She is from I met her in the Derek Grace tribe. So Derek Grace, I don't know if you guys know Derek Grace, but he's dope, master marketer. He's the guy with all the tats on his face. He's killing the game. Signed up for the post-Trump Academy. And, in that network, I just started putting out there that I had this free ebook on Bitcoin and blockchain. And someone reached out to me. And I just want to shout her out. She has a club on Facebook. It's called the $1 Club. So she's pretty much teaching ethnic black people from the urban community, about investing, because it's something that we really don't know. Not many of us was taught this in school or by our parents and so on. But, this is the time we change it. So I was all on board. I jumped on with her on the Zoom, and we spoke about crypto and blockchain. They asked some questions, so you could go ahead and watch that video. It's 2 parts. At first, YouTube wouldn't let me put it up, so I had to break it up in 2. But it's up now, so you can watch it. The audio is not the best, so that's exactly why I'm redoing this. But just so that you know, this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. None of this info should be taken word for word as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please take the time to do your own research, DYOR. You know what I'm saying? So you can make the right decisions for yourself. So, first, let's get into what money is. Fiat. What is fiat? Okay. So, money is an item or verifiable record that is accepted as means of payment for goods and services. So really and truly, anything could be money. This shirt I have right here could be money if it has value. If people think it has value, I could trade it for something and get something I need. Now, there's fiat. So fiat is derived from a Latin word. Pretty much means what will be, will be. So if I said that this comb right here is money, we're going to be making combs and we're going to use that as money. But it's government issued. So whatever the government says is money is money. So that's why we call it fiat. It derives from that word. Now, in the past, our ancestors used things like seashells, different kind of rocks, all sorts of things, cattle, but none of those things were feasible. One, because your cattle would get sick, or you might want to eat it. With shells, they might break. All of them might not be the same size, so it might cause some discrepancy. Even if you fast forward to gold, once you get up into, pounds and whatnot, who's carrying around, a lot of gold like that? You know what I mean? Then we made coin. Then eventually that becomes heavy too. You got like 5 sacks on the side of your waistband, looking like Robin Hood. And eventually it gets heavy. So, we had to come up with something else. And that was paper money. But unfortunately, it was taken off of the gold standard back in the 70s with Richard Nixon. So our money's not backed by anything, pretty much. That's where we have blockchain. And that's where crypto and Bitcoin comes in. A lot of people say that crypto and blockchain isn't backed by anything at all. But really and truly, it's backed by math. It's backed by algorithms. It's backed by the truth. You know what I mean? And if the nerds is doing it, then I'm with it. Nah. But so what is blockchain? So pretty much it's just a record keeping technology, right? It's a distributed ledger. So distributed means it's shared. There's a bunch of people that can have access to it. Everyone has access to it, pretty much, right? And it's a ledger. So pretty much a record of transactions. Now, it's also a chain of blocks linked together by a network of multiple computers. Now, each particular block contains information on transactions. Each block can store thousands of transactions. Now, what determines a block? Just think of it like a block of time. So, say for instance, like from 1 to 2 o'clock, we record all these transactions. Boom, that's one block. Now we have a chain. We link it to the next block, which would be from 3 to 4 o'clock. We write down those transactions, or they get automatically transmitted into the blockchain, and then that's connected. So each block will be connected to each other via that chain. So the definition is actually easier to understand than it sounds. When you say blockchain technology, people are gonna think like, all right, who is this fool? But it's actually really easy to understand. And blockchain technology has been around for like 10 years plus. A lot of companies are using it, but they don't really talk about it because there's a difference between blockchain and Bitcoin. So blockchain is what powers Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what just made blockchain super popular. Why blockchain? So, of course, it's decentralized. Now, decentralized means that no one owns it. There's no central authority. Now, everything we deal with today has a central authority. We have our president, or we have the CEO, or you have the boss. There's always a central overhead or overseer. So instead of having a centralized entity keeping records of transactions, it's shared amongst a network of computers. So they all use a consensus algorithm to come up with what's true and accurate about the transactions, right? So on the blockchain, there's a bunch of miners, and this is why it's related to gold. So we have a bunch of miners, just like, gold miners digging, but instead of digging, they're going through the algorithm and making sure everything is accurate. Then once we get those confirmations, boom, it's stored onto the blockchain, right? So it's actually pretty simple, Now, there's a lot of benefits to the blockchain. There's enhanced security. You ain't got to worry about no one tampering with stuff. There is reduced cost, of course. So some of the benefits are enhanced security, transparency, so everyone could see it, increased efficiency, and reduced cost, so no middleman. So the goal of the blockchain is to allow digital information to be recorded and distributed, but not edited. All right. Now, records are available on the blockchain and can only be updated by consensus, which means everyone has to agree. Now, it's one ledger that everyone has access to, more productive, and less confusion. So pretty much less clutter. And no need to spend money on third parties or any middlemen, like I was saying before. Now, there's much more benefits to blockchain, but that's what I'm going to get into for now, just to move forward. What is Bitcoin? Here's another breakdown of what Bitcoin is. It's a fully peer-to-peer network with no trusted third party. Boom. It's easy, It's a medium of exchange, just like money. It's a measure of value, just like money. It's very similar to money, all these aspects, A standard of deferred payment, a store of value. So all these things is what money is supposed to be. And Bitcoin actually does this very damn well. So boom, let's talk about what Bitcoin is. Now that you get the gist of what blockchain is, let's talk about Bitcoin. So a cryptocurrency or decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator. It can be sent from user to user on the peer-to-peer network. That's what P2P stands for. Now this is going back to what Robert said about it being people's money. So peer-to-peer, people to people. No central authority. It belongs to us, not the government. So Bitcoin is not physical, although there was one guy in 2016 that was selling a bunch of coins saying that they was Bitcoins in New York City. I think the dude raked in $1 million off of that and then ended up getting put in jail. But that's pretty funny. But it's not physical. The balances are kept on the public ledger, so you could always see it. It's a collection of computers, like I said, that run the Bitcoin code, which is the blockchain. So Bitcoin was created in 2009, following the housing and market crash in 09 and 08 and 09, which is what we call the Great Recession. It was in response to that. Now, just to give you some insight, we don't really know who created Bitcoin. It's a guy named Satoshi Nakamoto. It's funny, this Asian guy was tracked down. His last name is Nakamoto. Actually, his full name is Satoshi Nakamoto. And the news was in front of his door, all these microphones when he walked out, and they were like, "Are you the guy who created Bitcoin?" And he's just like, "Yo, what is Bitcoin? I don't even know what you guys are talking about." But what people think, a lot of researchers believe that Satoshi Nakamoto is actually a group of people, like a group of cypherpunks that have been working on digital cash for 10 years prior to Bitcoin even coming out. So if you do your research in Wikipedia, there was DigiCash and all these different electronic cash options that they came out with, presented to, I guess, the government and failed. So Bitcoin was the one that passed the test. So there's been a lot of years in the making behind Bitcoin, but we don't really know who made it. That's a good thing. We don't want to know who made it, because then, that would prove that it's not decentralized, or, that means that there will be a central authority, in my opinion. There's other reasons why you wouldn't want to know who created Bitcoin, but that's on the surface. Now, there's a lot of benefits to Bitcoin. So the accessibility, so it's going to bank the unbanked. When you think about places like Africa, India, South America, a lot of those people have a cell phone, but they don't have a bank account. So it's going to bank the unbanked. You know what I mean? More people have cell phones than they do bank accounts in the world, and that's just a fact. You know, Bitcoin can be sent anywhere, and then people believe that you need the internet to send Bitcoin. They actually tested it, and you could send Bitcoin via radio waves. So say like you want to get off the grid, or like, you know, some I Am Legend, or, you know, Walking Dead situation happened, and, you know, all the electricity went out, and we can only drive cars with engine, like manual cars, like no computers and whatnot, and all you have is the radio. But you want to send some money, you know, you can send it through radio waves. Kind of far-fetched, but, you know, it's possible. Now, there's no banking fees, no account maintenance fees, no minimum balance fees, no overdraft fees. Now, that right there should spark light bulbs for everybody. I'm sure we all went through overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees. You know, we're normal human beings, so I'm sure we all went through it. Now, there's low fees to send money abroad. So remittances, which is sending money back home. Bakayad, as I would say. You know, I have Jamaican roots, but you know, a lot of people send money back home, whether it's Korea, China, and you know, that's a known thing. They come to America, they make their money, and they send it back home. So Bitcoin actually makes it much easier and much cheaper. So think of like Western Union and MoneyGram. Like, it's expensive to send money through those options. You know, our parents, grandparents, and ancestors have used that over the years, but, you know, we have something more efficient. User anatomy. So you can control your money spending without worrying about a third-party authority. And it's discreet. So even though everything is transparent, is on the blockchain, it's not like it's going to say Joe Schmo, you know what I'm saying, Jane Doe sent Bitcoin, you know, Billy, you know what I mean, or Robert sent some money to Craig. It's going to show the Bitcoin wallet address, which is a public address. So there's a public address and a private address. It will show the public, and it will show date and time and all that stuff, but you won't actually see who it was, you know, not unless you know their wallet address. So let's talk about why Bitcoin is valuable. So it's disruptive and innovative. I like to put Bitcoin in the same boat as your Airbnbs, you know, things like that, or like your Squares, you know, is taking over the bank. There's a lot of options that you could think about. It's disrupting an industry that's already there. You know, think of like New York City, yellow cabs when Uber came. Those yellow cabs were tight. You know what I'm saying? It's the same situation with the traditional bankers, or finance 1.0, as we would call it. You know, they're being disrupted by finance 2.0, which is Bitcoin, sound money, blockchain technology, crypto, people's money. You know, it's innovative. Now that Bitcoin has come about, thousands and thousands of different cryptos have been, you know, created. A lot have been trying to mimic Bitcoin. Some made fun of Bitcoin, like the Dogecoin. And if you got into Dogecoin, shout out to you. You know, you had forks of Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. You have things that's similar to the Bitcoin code, like Digibyte. You have like the silver to Bitcoin, which is Litecoin. And then you have Ethereum, which just changed the entire game. And on top of Ethereum came a lot more coins, you know. So it's just innovation on top of innovation on top of innovation. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's just crazy. Like, my mind is racing right now. But you know, scarcity makes Bitcoin valuable. So there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever in existence, ever. A lot of people ask me, like, yo, what if somebody comes about and then they create another Bitcoin? Okay, they did it already. They had Bitcoin Cash, they had Bitcoin Gold, they had Bitcoin Diamond, all these BS, you know, options or coins or alternative or altcoins that they created. But you can't create more Bitcoin. You know, there's only going to be 21 million. If you have the time and the patience and you like to read, you could read through Bitcoin's white paper, which is pretty much the instructions. Read through it, and then you will see for yourself that it's only going to be 21 million. And that's going to be, like in the year 2140 is going to be the last Bitcoin ever mined.
I think like every day
900 Bitcoin are mined. So if you do the math, just divide that for, or whatever, you get it. There's only going to be 21 million. So with
basic laws of economics,
when something is in demand and there's a limited amount, think of like Jordans, think of like the
Toro 5s, think of like
the OVO 10s, or think of something like that, or the Witherspoon Air Maxes, or I'm sneakerhead, as you can see in the back, but think of things like that. So if it's a limited amount and a lot of people want it, the demand is high, the price is going to go up. It's simple economics. There's only 21 million made. There's way more than 21 million people in New York alone, right? So just think of it like that. Bitcoin is in its infancy, so it does create a risk factor, and it does make it volatile. But over the past 10, 11 years now, Bitcoin has outperformed any other asset class. And that's a fact. You could check that. So even though it's volatile, it does get crazy. The price goes up.
At 10,000, it shot to 20,000
in 2017, went all the way back down to 3,000, then shot up to 64, then went back to 50. But if you look at it over time, there's higher highs and lower lows. So that's a good thing to look for. So despite all of the movements, Bitcoin has been killing it. So when in doubt, just zoom out. You know what I mean? So instead of looking at the micro view, you look at the macro view. So if you look at the charts instead of looking at 1 day or live, you just expand it. Look at a month, look at 3 months, look at 6 months, look at a year, so on and so forth. And then you can see the trajectory. So next, boom. This is pretty much what I was talking about in regards to Bitcoin's performance
over the past decade. This 2019 return. Look at
Bitcoin compared to everything else. This is the NASDAQ. This is the S&P 500, Russell 2000, gold. You know what I mean? Bitcoin has outperformed everything. Everything. And then for 2020, same thing. Now we're in 2021, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Now, Bitcoin versus gold. Okay. All right, that's enough. All right, Bitcoin versus gold. So I like this infographic because it kind of breaks down gold, fiat, and crypto,
or Bitcoin specifically, and how beneficial it is, or how much stronger and how much more of sound money it is compared to
those other options.
So fungibility. So
fungible pretty much means interchangeable. I know you guys have been hearing a lot about NFTs, which is a non-fungible token.
So that means it's not interchangeable,
and that's what makes it rare. That's what make the price goes up. People
selling farts, like literally someone sold their past gas, their fart, their poop, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
They sold it for $80 on the blockchain. A dude in Brooklyn. Lindsay Lohan's in the game. Tory Lanez, Lupe Fiasco. We got The Undertaker from WWE. You got so many people and so many people with social currency that are making these NFTs, which are not interchangeable. So that value on top of other things. Now, Bitcoin is interchangeable. So I could give you one Bitcoin, you could give it back. Money is interchangeable. The US dollar, and so is gold. Non-consumable, do not try to eat it. Portable, as I was saying before, you can't really bring gold around like that. Fiat, you can. You know what I mean? You have your credit card,
or you could put the money in your pocket. There's plenty of ways to carry it,
especially with your phone now. Then you have crypto, which is the same way.
It's like designed to be on your phone or
on technology. So, and that's the most transparent, most portable thing that we have, at the moment. Durable.
So gold is durable. You can't really
destroy it. You can, but it's not worth it. You're gonna be killing yourself trying to do it. Fiat, the US dollar, is somewhat durable, but it can
get burned, things like that.
Crypto, you can't burn it. Even if you smash your computer and throw it in the landfill, someone runs it over, I could still get another wallet, put in my seed code,
and pull up my
Bitcoin.
So
It's indestructible, highly divisible. So gold is moderately divisible. Fiat is divisible all the way down to 1 penny. Whereas Bitcoin, you could go all the way down to 1
Satoshi.
And that's like a million
of a
Bitcoin. So there's almost a million or so Satoshis in a Bitcoin.
That's what makes it divisible.
It's secure. No one could just steal your Bitcoin. They're gonna have to do a lot to take your Bitcoin. Like they're gonna really, even if they had a gun to your head, it's still gonna be hard to get your coin. Gold and fiat is a little different. Easily transactable. People say that, what are you gonna buy with Bitcoin? Well, I could buy a house with Bitcoin. I could buy a Tesla with Bitcoin.
I could buy a lot of things with Bitcoin. So
we're past that. We already spoke about the scarcity. Fiat money's not scarce because they're printing it like it's nobody's business. And the funny thing is, they could print all this money, but then they cannot get rid of the debt. It doesn't make sense. Another topic. It's sovereign. No, it's not sovereign. It's not government issued, and it's not fiat. So crypto is not sovereign. So that's the only thing that's low on this infographic. As I said, it's decentralized and it's smart because it's programmable. And I like the programmable term because when we get into like Ethereum is programmable money, which is changing the game. And like I said before, once Ethereum came, it changed the game. Definitely changed the game. Now, there's different ways you can make money in crypto.
So, of course, one of the first ways
to make money in crypto is by investing, right?
So you can invest long term.
You set your position in Bitcoin, whether you want to buy low or you just dollar cost average. Take those same
tactics from Finance 1.0
and bring it to Finance 2.0. So buying and holding, as we like to say in the crypto world, HODL, HODL, which means hold on for dear life. All right. Then you could trade it. So the short-term opportunities, this includes like technical analysis, reading charts, MACDs, and all those things.
So, to my
traders out there, shout out to you. Then there's passive income.
So there's a proof of stake or staking.
So with Bitcoin was proof of work. So when I say proof of work, this is what I was referring to
with the miners.
They had to show proof of proof.
And
how they do that is by, confirming those
transactions, confirming the algorithms and whatnot.
So that's proof of work. Now, proof of stake is different. Proof of stake means the larger stake you have, the more you get a payout.
So you actually get an incentive for staking or keeping your particular
coins on the blockchain. So a good example of proof of stake is like Tezos. Tezos is a proof of stake.
So essentially locking the coins up in the crypto
wallet and gaining rewards to validate transactions on a proof of stake network. So instead of validating the transactions with the algorithm, you're just validating it with keeping those coins on the network. There's lending, and there's a lot of platforms like Nexo, BlockFi, Celsius that allows you to lend and get money. Mining. So mining is what we call the proof of work. So consensus mechanism, the process of verifying transactions.
That's when you're actually doing
the work. Right? So those are the different ways you can make money in the crypto space.
Now, one thing
I'd like to talk about, which kind of gravitates a lot of people to the crypto space, so it kind of opens up their eyes. Before crypto was like
the wild west. Whenever you spoke about crypto, people automatically thought like, yo, he's a scammer.
Or he's one of them Forex dudes that be on IG that just be trying to get your money and
put stuff all up under your comments about Forex and trading and how much money they made. So I like to
give them real world examples or like their favorite companies or the companies that they work at that are actually into crypto, or into the blockchain space. So you can make money off of crypto by not actually being in crypto, by trading stocks, So there's a lot of different
companies that are into blockchain.
IBM, number one. Since like 2018 BC, I've been seeing IBM commercials about the blockchain. There was one commercial specifically where like
a cat got hurt,
or like an animal got hurt, and they were checking the database, but because of the blockchain, they had all this information about how to take care of this particular animal, something like that, something of the sort. But they've been speaking about blockchain ever since. Bank of America has bad blockchain patents, believe it or not. Santander is actually a partner with Ethereum for the Ethereum Alliance. NVIDIA makes chips for the computers or, the
big rigs that are doing
the mining pools or the mining
farms. NVIDIA is
powering that, as well as AMD. DocuSign is using blockchain. Square, who owns Cash App, where you could actually buy Bitcoin from, is into blockchain. Overstock. That stock actually started going up because they converted over to blockchain. The CEO actually created a platform called T0 where you could trade crypto. Alibaba, you got MasterCard and Visa, who's been partnering with like Crypto.com, and they partnered with Gemini and Nexo, all these different crypto
platforms that
allow you to now spend your crypto or get cashback rewards. Marathon Patent Group. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is a good option. They now actually have Ethereum Trust, Chainlink, Basic Attention Token, Live Peer, Filecoin. So they have a trust for a lot of different coins. I think I'm going to dive into the Ethereum one myself.
Lockheed Martin, PayPal.
You can now buy crypto on PayPal. MicroStrategy, that converted all their reserves over to crypto. Michael Saylor, shout out to him, one of the smartest CEOs. CleanSpark. So there's a lot of different ways you can make money in crypto. It's not just trading or holding crypto. In the stock market, you can make money.
Which is actually pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Now, I want to make a video about this, really, like just diving into different options or different platforms or exchanges, because a lot has changed since I created this. A lot of new platforms that I actually use have popped up. So yeah, I'm gonna update this, but Coinbase,
which just went public. They just had
their direct listing. So that's a very popular one. It's the most secure, easiest way to buy Bitcoin. A lot of people know it. You have Gemini, which is created by the
Winklevoss twins, which is two of the Bitcoin
billionaires. That's a dope platform.
It's a New York-based platform, similar to Coinbase.
They actually have an earn section where you can earn money for lending. Coinbase doesn't have that yet, but Coinbase does have coins that you could get staking rewards off of. So USD coin, which is a stable coin, Tezos, Algorand, Cosmos, you could actually get staking rewards on Coinbase for holding those coins. There's Crypto.com.
Crypto.com used to have
really, really attractive interest rates
with their earn platform. But the rates have actually gone down. So you get like 2% for Bitcoin.
2% APY for Ethereum, when once before it was like 6-7%. But it's still a dope platform
because they have these different tiers for their card.
And the card is actually metal. It's a metal card, which is dope. And there's different tiers, like the ruby tier, black, and there's a red, blue,
black, white, and black, something like that. But depending on how much CRO coin you have staked,
which is the coin that runs the exchange, it's like their governance coin. Depending on how much you have staked will determine which level card you get. So that's a dope option. You can spend the crypto. They give you cash
back. Like the first level, you'll get cash back for using the card for your Spotify subscription.
Next level, you'll get that cash back as well as crypto back. Actually, I'm saying cash back. You get crypto back for using the crypto.com card for your Spotify. That's the Ruby card. Once you go a level up, you get Spotify and Netflix, so you'll get that back in CRO coin. So you spend the $10 or $12, whatever it is, for the platform using that card, and they will pay you back the same amount, but just in CRO coin. You have Binance, which is the world's biggest exchange.
But unfortunately, us
United States residents have no to Binance. It's funny because they had shut us out like a little while ago, but you were actually still able to use it on the low. But now they officially shut us out. Like, you can't do anything. You can't trade, anything like that. The most you could do is just send your coins to another wallet. And that's if you have another wallet that actually holds those particular coins. But there's Binance US,
which is just like Coinbase, really and truly. I think it's actually not as good because it doesn't have as many
options. But Binance is actually known as like that platform.
When a new coin is coming out
and they get recognition, or they want recognition, they go to Binance, and then boom, that's when they blow up.
But you usually, or used to be able to get like
a wide array of digital currencies
or altcoins from them.
You have Robinhood, which is really just for trading. So you don't actually own the coins on Robinhood. They have access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. And then you have Cash App, which is dope. You can now buy Bitcoin on Cash App, and it's a wallet. Send the Bitcoin to like your Coinbase or Gemini. So Cash App is dope. Shout out to Jack Dorsey. So there's a lot more other platforms like Voyager. Voyager is like one of my favorites. There's Zerion, which is more like a decentralized exchange. Uniswap, SushiSwap, 1inch. Those are all decentralized exchanges.
You have like
FTX, BitBuy, BitGo, and
there's so many different platforms out there. But these are like the most popular.
As well as like Voyager, Abra, eToro. Those are popular. And you could buy crypto on Webull also. Yes, sir. So before we end this, we're just
going to talk about how blockchain
actually works so that you get the gist of what blockchain is. Because, a lot of this is a mouthful. It's a lot to understand. It's a lot to take in. So, boom.
Take a look at this infographic.
So, person A wants to send money to person B. All right. The transaction is represented online as a block. All right. The block is broadcast to every party in the network. So these are all the different miners that I was referring to. All the geeks that have computers and are mining. That's what this network represents, right? Now, those in the network approve the transaction is valid. So once they prove that it's valid,
proof of work,
the block then can be added to the chain, which provides a transparent record of transaction, right? So the money moves from point A to point B. So this happens within a matter of minutes. So if I was to send my Bitcoin to someone using a platform like Binance or KuCoin or Gate.io, one of those a little more advanced platforms that look like Pro Tools or it looks like gibberish, those platforms, they're actually more... I like to say that those platforms are kind of like driving a stick shift. And Coinbase and Gemini is like automatic, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot more bells and whistles, or a lot more you could do. You can control it more. Just like stick shift, you can control the car more, as they say. So there's like stop losses,
limit orders, market orders.
A lot of different things you could do. You could trade coin for coin. So when you send the Bitcoin on like one of those platforms, after you send it, in your transaction history is going to say something that says confirmations. And pretty much what it needs is 10 confirmations. So once 10 confirmation goes through, your money will be sent. So I know a lot of people that like stare at their screen waiting for their confirmations to go from 1 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 10. Back in the day, it was a little bit slower. Now it's a bit faster. And then you have some blockchains, new crypto currencies that came out, which are like instant, much faster, that need less confirmations. But like an Ethereum Classic, which is the original version of Ethereum, that needs like 181 confirmations, something crazy. So it takes like 2 days for the transfer to go through, which is still quicker than, some banks, if you're sending money overseas and whatnot. But over time things get faster.
That's pretty much how blockchain works. That's the gist of it. This is my first video. I hope
You guys enjoyed it.
I'm new to this YouTube game, so
Just smash the likes, subscribe, share with your friend. If you have any suggestions, feel free to share. Comment. I will respond. And like I said, I am not a crypto hype beast. I really want to teach my people about crypto, because it's a game changer. It's only
1% of the world that's into this.
space right now, and we're already at 2 trillion in market cap, which means the value of all of the cryptos is 2 trillion. Once we get to 5%, the sky's the limit. Once Bitcoin gets to 100,000, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit with crypto. This is the best time to get in. This is like the internet age in the early 90s. Right now, we're probably in like year 1997. We still got dial-up.
AOL is probably on
4.0 right now. We're babies in the game.
This is where you reap the most benefits.
You know what I mean? So think about the future. Think about your kids. Think about all the opportunities we missed out on. Prohibition, we missed out on that. The gold rush, we missed out on that. The stock market booming in the 80s, we missed out on that. The 90s, we missed out on that with the dot-com era. The only thing we as a people, and this is my black and brown people, my Hispanics, my blacks, my African Americans, the only thing we didn't miss out on was like the drug game in the streets. And a lot of us got away, but then a lot of us didn't. A lot of us got caught up. A lot of us are in the system. A lot of us lost all those money and all those riches. So, we got to get back on top. The right way, the legal way, and a way that's not going to destroy our community, but, uplift the community and make us better. So,
Each one teach one. I'm out. It's your boy Dre.
signing out with UrbanBlockchain. Hope you enjoyed.